Hello everybody, and welcome back to Armored Core Project Phantasma, where we are going to fight a guy. Yeah, I know, big surprise. So, we are going to be fighting another of these heavily armored quads that are the bane of my existence. And we're going to be using the right weapons to deal with this sort of thing. The thing is, even though I've been using parts imported from Armored Core 1 like the Kurosawa, there are a lot of heavy weapons in Project Phantasma that can do the job, like the dual heavy laser cannon arms. In fact, I'm sure I used those a lot of the time when I went through this the first time I played the game. The first time I did it with no transfers just to prove to myself that I could. But I also wanted to show off the save transfer system for my playthrough. Well, that was a bit closer than I would have liked. But we did it. Now we're just going to tag this guy who, oh, that's my preferred setup if I could handle it without going overweight. Yeah, this guy is definitely human plus. Doesn't mean we can't win, we're just gonna have to, figure it out. Yeah, he has a Kurosawa too. And my favorite back missiles. So this is incredibly dangerous. As it should be, this guy is rank 6. Okay, this is nice. Carefully. Don't get hit by that blade wave. And got him. Like I said, I'm only going to be able to show you a small percentage of the viable builds in these games. What I'm using isn't even tournament meta. Okay, there's an enemy tank here, so I'm going to make a little bit of a change. We are going to be using the dual grenade arms on him. This is putting a lot of eggs in one basket because weapon arms have 0 defense. And we'll just be sticking with the regular head because the heavily armored head has excellent energy defense, but this guy is using all shell weapons. Well, mostly solid weapons. He has the machine gun arms, a grenade gun, and he also has a shoulder-mounted plasma cannon, but he isn't going to be using it that much, I think. Of course, I can always be wrong. That's just inherent to the human condition. Yeah, I never actually tried using these the first time I played through the game. So we're just gonna see how good they actually are. Once I can actually aim with them. Oh. That's pretty good. That's very good. Yeah, I'm not getting super solid hits on him, but I've still done a ton of damage. Oh, and he blew himself up a little bit. Oh, this is why I brought the spare missile launcher. And there we go. Yeah, weapon arms will pretty much always leave you free space for another back weapon, like missile launchers or whatever else you want to bring depending on what legs you're using. There are a lot of dependencies. But since we're going into a mission next, we're going to switch over to a more standard build. Plus, I'm going to want to bring a map head, too. Because there's a bit of maze stuff going on around here. And because we're going to be fighting an AC in this mission, we're going to be bringing the Phantasma laser rifle. Okay, so what do we got? Oh, we found where the Phantasma actually is. Okay, find Phantasma and destroy it before Stinger gets there, and we kinda all know how this is going to go.
After you enter the area, split into 2 groups and investigate. Find the whereabouts of the target ASAP. We will eliminate them using your information. Combat system engaged.
Now, the main entrance to the complex is in that crater we saw back there, but there are a couple of things we need to do first. One, we should probably take out all of these MTs that are running around up here. And second, we need to enter 3 other underground passages, because each of these passages you get to through these little entrances here leads to a switch that opens up one of the gates in the main complex. And if you want to get to the end, you're gonna have to flip all 3 of these switches. Let's see how well these missiles work on these MTs up here. Not that great. Well, guess I'll just have to spend my laser ammo on it. Yeah, the enemies around here can actually hurt. Which is a problem, because you would need a fair bit of AP by the time you get to the end of this mission. Yeah, because even though there are MTs on the surface, there are also a bunch of enemies in the narrow corridors leading deeper into the rest of the mission. Okay, and this should be the last switch over here. Okay, let's get out of here. And now we can head down into the crater. Okay, so there are a lot of these floating enemies as well as turrets in here, and taking care of these is basically mandatory, because you do not want to get messed up before you get to the end of this mission. But that's gonna happen to us a bit, so... well, no one said I was perfect. Yeah, the thing is, those hover MTs are pretty speedy and also pretty damaging, and they actually make pretty good use of the cover that's available in these corridors. If you feel confident enough to bring something like a quad or even a tank, that could be a good solution to these problems by being able to load up on some kind of heavy weapons to deal with these things. Yeah, the thing about the Kurosawa versus the Phantasma laser rifle is that this laser rifle just has that much more general utility. Okay, we've made it to the end.
So, you've come. Didn't I mention that I do not like annoyances? I will never turn over Phantasma to the likes of you.
Okay, now we have to fight Stinger. He has his triple laser rifle back. He can do a ton of damage really quickly, and he has his dual blades if you get close. It's a pretty wide open room, so if you're confident in your dodging, you can do a lot, but Stinger has good aim, and more likely than not, you're gonna take some hits.
That is mine! Mine!
Yeah, we barely scraped out of that one. Anyway, there's no more fighting after you beat Stinger here, so there's no reason to worry. You can just scoot on over to the end.
I believe that this is the place. Be careful. We were too late. I cannot believe they got here before us. Go find him. We must destroy him at all costs.
Yeah, we took a beating, but we have so much money from the arena that it doesn't even matter. Okay, Stinger has made off with the completed Phantasma, so... yeah, that tracks. But before we do that, we're just gonna finish off the arena. Let's see... gonna switch out the less complicated to the less complicated head. Equip the Kurosawa. And let's see what's waiting for us next. Okay, this is a basic kind of heavy AC that has a heavy bazooka and a dual multi-warhead missile launcher. So it's very dangerous. But its equipment is a known quantity. What it can do is take a ton of hits. It has heavy biped legs, a heavy core. So you kind of have to be careful with your shots, even if you are using a heavy weapon like the Kurosawa or whatever else. Plus, his bazooka has a real kick to it, and that can set you up for its laser wave. Thankfully, the laser wave does not have much vertical reach, so it actually passed over my head there. I think that's the only reason I survived. But hey, a win is a win. Okay, so number 3 might actually be more dangerous than the number 1 ranked opponent in the arena. Because number 3 is very, very high offense. It has a grenade gun and the twin grenade arms. However, because it uses weapon arms, it's kind of vulnerable to, well, damage in general, but because it uses relatively slow projectiles, there's a lot you can do to it with missiles. So, that's what we're gonna do. Of course, this method is only slightly less dangerous, but we do what we do with what we have. Oh, there he is. Okay. I need to do something fast. Yeah, for some reason, grenade shots are pretty hard to avoid in Gen 1. They almost have like a kind of flat cannon effect sometimes, it seems. So it's still very easy to die very quickly, even if you have an idea of how you're supposed to fight this guy. My brother managed to do it with the dual laser cannon arms. Oh, we got a solid hit there. we hit it. He's incredibly offensively dangerous, but just some hits with any decently powerful weapon will do the trick. He just has a whole heap of grenade ammo to throw at you. And for that, we get the huge missile launcher. It is a highly overpowered weapon, and I'll be showing that off later. Not this video, but there's going to be one video after this one, which will give me plenty of room to show off some really fun stuff. Okay, this guy is a quad who has plenty of heavy weapons and weapon arms, which means you don't have to worry about facing a laser blade wave, which means you can get in close without too much fear. The thing about this one is that even though it has a bunch of very dangerous weapons, it has weapon arms, and its turning rate is not especially good. It also has a heavy energy loadout on a quad which has high energy drain, and not even Human Plus can completely make up for that. So we can just circle him and pick him apart with our machine gun without too much hassle, actually. Yeah, the thing about Armored Core is that there's a mechanism for enemy ACs to cheat. However, even the way that enemies cheat with Human Plus has some very specific rules to it. So it's cheating, but with very defined limits. It's quite an interesting system, actually. Plus, it's a cheat that you can get. So now we're going to fight the #1 champ of the arena, Necron. And Necron is just tough. He has a grenade gun, he has missiles, and he has the machine gun 1000, so he has a high projectile speed weapon that can take apart lighter builds if you're not careful. It's just an overall tough AC to fight. And I appreciate that. What you saw is if things go absolutely perfectly. Because he does have a Moonlight that can do the laser blade wave. I'm not going to pretend it's going to be that easy for anyone and everyone. I just know how he fights. And we just picked up the most broken weapon in Project Phantasma, which means it's probably one of the most broken weapons in Armored Core. Now, for the final boss, completed Phantasma. Phantasma has insane energy resistance. Like, you could equip a magazine and the dual heavy laser cannon arms and empty every shot into it and you would not do enough damage to kill it. And that's on top of the fact that Phantasma is pretty durable overall. So, we are going to be using, for the first and only time, just regular cannon arms. We're going to do an Armored Core final boss fight with weapon arms. And we're gonna save before we do it. This is not a request. Oh. Oh. You gone that far off the deep end, have you? I swear, Stinger is FromSoft's most extra mecha villain until Richard Hawke.
Welcome to the Abyss. This is where I merged and became one with Phantasma. No one can stop me now. Die!
Okay, prototype Phantasma was dangerous, but completed Phantasma is incredibly dangerous. It has this light spray attack that can hit, well, all sorts of places. And it has an energy machine gun. It still has its vertical missile launchers, and it also has huge missiles. Missiles that take a lot of AMS to destroy, track extremely well, and do a ton of damage if they hit. There are just a ton of ways for Phantasma to do a ton of damage to you. And I ran out of ammo.
AC unit destroyed. Combat halted.
Now, there's no penalty for losing that mission because there's no payment for winning it. So we're just gonna try that again. Because I know the basic cannon arms have enough ammunition to destroy Phantasma on their own.
Welcome to the Abyss. This is where I merged and became one.
So let's try
with
that again.
Phantasma. No one can stop me now. Die!
Okay, so we're going to be shooting Phantasma, you know, just like this. And you'll notice that I was just dead aiming right there. The thing about Phantasma during its laser spray attack, oh, there are the huge missiles, is that he's stationary, and cannon arms generally have a longer combat range than their lock-on range, so you can just shoot him from wherever.
I'm losing? Impossible. I'm burning. Phantasma, I'm dying.
And that's it for Stinger and Phantasma.
We did it. We destroyed Phantasma. Maybe we could have adapted the technology, but I guess it's better this way. I would like to ask for your help again later. You are quite a strong ally to have. Just give me a discount next time, huh?
Yeah, sure, discount. I guess this is your first time working with Ravens, isn't it, lady? By the way, I think there was a missing piece there because I almost ran out of cannon ammo the second time, so maybe I brought a magazine or a missile launcher or something last time. Well, I won, so it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so we're not quite done with Project Phantasma yet. There are some missions that we didn't do, and I'm going to be tackling them in a bonus video, plus there are a couple of weapons I want to show off. But other than that, we finished off the arena, we finished off the main story. And so, Project Phantasma is kind of an interesting expansion because at points it sometimes feels like it's more about introducing the arena because the main story is pretty straightforward, even for an Armored Core expansion. But it does throw generally tougher missions at you overall. And, you know, a more straightforward and sensible plot might be what some people want. But there is virtue to the FromSoft way of storytelling in the original Armored Core. So it's really just a matter of preference. The arena, however, is an excellent addition to Armored Core because it allows you to just go hog wild with whatever parts and weapons you want without having to worry about things like money. So this would kind of set the tone for the way just some of the Armored Core expansions were going to be going forwards. Introducing new stuff and features while giving harder missions than the original game. Plus, Project Phantasma might be the most hilariously broken Armored Core game. Anyway, I will be seeing you next time where we do the rest of Project Phantasma. Goodbye!